From the heart of the Space City to the heart of Gen Z, welcome to Next Gen Conversation. Not Dad's Talk Radio. Ethan talks to you about the issues and events that matter to our generation. This is the Next Gen Report with Ethan Buchanan.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Next Gen Report, to the Wednesday edition of the show. Pleasure to be with you. All right. What do we have going on? First of all, I hope your Labor Day was good. Nice long Labor Day weekend. I had a great Labor Day. Hung out at the beach with my family. That's always a good time. And yeah, just kind of took things easy, as you should. I hope you tuned in to AM 950 KPRC, caught the best of segments that we did. A lot of people in radio use best ofs as an opportunity to just, I don't want to say half-ass it, but it's almost what it turns into. I try not to do that. When I give you the best of segments, I really am looking through the archive of my show and trying to find the actual best of my show. And that's what I present to you on those days that I take a weekend off, when we have a nice holiday weekend. And so that's what I did. If you missed it, you missed it. It's gone. But the podcast is there, and everything I air in the best of is available on the podcast. So go take a listen to that if you've got the time. It's wherever you get your podcasts. Literally anywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio. I think it's even on Google Podcasts. I didn't even know Google Podcasts was a thing, but apparently we put it there. I didn't know that. But anyway, go check that out. Wherever you get podcasts, @ Ethan Buchanan on X. There's all the links there. So, highly recommend it. Anyway, let's get into it. What do we have going on today? Epstein. Epstein's back, guys. He's not back, but the Epstein files are back. Anna Paulina Luna tweeted this out just randomly. All Epstein files can be found here. They were uploaded by House Oversight. Just randomly on a Tuesday afternoon dropped this bombshell. I didn't see it coming. Nobody saw this coming. We didn't know this was happening, but it happened. So there's the link. There's the tweet. There's the Google Drive. I'm in it. I have them. Those are the Epstein files. 33,000 pages, by the way. No, I have not dug into them. I do not have the time to dig into them right now, but I do have them. I will be digging into them and keeping up with people who have more time and resources to dig into them than I do. Obviously, there's going to be some interesting stuff in here, right? And there's also going to be a lot of redacted things. There's going to be a lot of stuff missing, stuff to ask questions about. All of this will come later. This is really going to be a major story, I think, probably for the Sunday show. So tune in on Sunday, AM 950 KPRC. I'm sure we'll have more stuff to talk about there. One thing we do have right now, courtesy of Benny Johnson, who does have the time and resources to go dig through this, is Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself, dude. He just didn't. I try not to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but this is pretty damning. 9 days before his death, Epstein did not appear to be an immediate threat to self, as per Bureau of Prisons suicide risk assessment in the Oversight Committee's Epstein file release. There's just no way that he went in the span of 9 days from, I'm going to fight this out in the courts or make a deal or what have you, I'm not going to kill myself, I've never wanted to kill myself and I don't want to now, to this is hopeless, I'm going to kill myself. It just could not have happened. All right? So I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I am a conspiracy realist. He didn't kill himself. He just didn't. I don't believe he killed himself. You cannot convince me that he killed himself, at least not willingly. All right. Now, we'll see what else comes out of these Epstein files. We don't know for sure. Like I said, there's going to be a lot in here and there's going to be a lot not in here. So it's going to take time to parse through this. Again, it's like 33,000 pages of files. You don't just dig through that overnight. I'm sorry. You just don't. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's talk about Jasmine Crockett, everybody's favorite lady. I think that's enough Epstein. We'll get back to that on Sunday. Here is Jasmine Crockett. She unveiled this over the weekend, this new ghetto accent. She's been called out for this a lot recently. A lot. So first, let me play you the accent just so you understand how outrageous it is. And then I'll play you an older cut of her. I've played this cut before, of her speaking normally just so that you know she's faking it. Take a listen.
Baby, because these people, they are crazy. Because they always talk about how Christian they is. Yeah, I don't know how many of them on that side are getting divorced because they getting caught up sleeping with their co-workers, staffers. And
Okay, let me stop you right there. That is a problem. We do need to work on that, Ken. But, why is she talking like that? Why? She's not even stringing together a proper sentence. Call me old-fashioned, but I think our Congress people should speak proper English, okay? That's just me. All right, keep going, Jasmine.
All the things. Yeah, you ain't got to believe me. Just go Google. You'll find some of it. I'm telling you, and the wives is being messy and petty. They putting
And the wives is being messy, but she is talking about Ken Paxton, by the way. The wives is being messy and petty. You don't even have to talk about blah, blah, blah. Just speak English. It's not that hard, right? Just speak proper English. You can make your point without doing vocal blackface. And that's what she's doing. I'll prove it to you. Look, here's her talking no less than 2 years ago to a TV reporter. If I can get the video to play. There we go.
First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress.
Maybe because these people.
And there's the side-by-side comparison. She's not doing this naturally. This is not her natural speaking voice. You know it isn't. It's undeniably not her natural speaking voice, but she's doing it anyway. Why? I don't know. I'll give $1 to anyone who can tell me. Is this what it takes to win the black vote? Is that what she's doing? I feel like you can be a proper, well-spoken African American and still win a seat in Congress. I know this because Wesley Hunt is a very well-spoken black man who holds a seat in Congress, and he's a Republican. Is this just a Democrat thing? What is going on? Why is she doing this? She didn't used to do it. She was an elected Democrat at the state level, and she didn't do this. What is the point? I have to know. The fact that I don't know is honestly stressing me out. I can't for the life of me make sense of it, but it does strike me as condescending. It does. I don't know if that's what she's going for, if it is condescending, but that's how it reads. Speak proper English. Have some respect for yourself. You're a sitting congresswoman. Good God in heaven. All right, we got a great show coming up for you. A whole lot that we're going to dig into today. So stay tuned. I'm going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with more of the Next Gen Report. Thank you very much. Alrighty. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking around, if you stuck around. All right, here we go. A little bit more Jeffrey Epstein stuff, and then we'll get to some good Trump. We've had a lot of good Trump recently, and I'm very proud of the fact that I am a fair person, politically speaking. I am tied to results, not necessarily a political party. So I will call good and bad Trump when I see good and bad Trump. We got some good Trump that we're going to talk about in just a minute. But first, a little bit more on Jeffrey Epstein. Anna Paulina Luna spoke on Tuesday evening, yesterday night, if you're watching this on Wednesday when I upload it, about the big Epstein file dump that we just had. 33,000 files uploaded to a freaking Google Doc of all places. That is weird. That's just weird. You'd think they'd put it on an official government website, you know, like a house.gov website somewhere. I don't know. It's the House committee releasing all these files. Nope, they just put it on a Google Drive and call it a day. Fair enough. But right after they did that, Anna Paulina Luna tweets out the link. She goes crazy on X. Great. That's what we want. Transparency from government. I like it. Here she is at a press conference of sorts, I guess. I think it's kind of an impromptu press conference. It doesn't look very formal. But here she is right after those files were released, speaking to reporters. And what she says here is interesting. We'll say interesting. All right. So take a listen to this.
The biggest thing that stands out to me is the victims themselves have stated that this is a lot bigger than I think anyone anticipated. We are obviously going to be requesting the SARS reports from Treasury, and also too following up on that. There are some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. I think everyone's been frustrated as to why that hasn't happened before. But it is very much so a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working for our adversaries. But also, too, I think the questions that we have is how much did our own government know about it? And so there's more to follow, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from the chairman momentarily. But I do applaud the victims from coming forward, because we heard from a woman who was as young as 14 years old when she was victimized multiple times by Jeffrey Epstein. So that's hard to hear.
Okay, so that's pretty big stuff, right? He may have been an intelligence asset. A lot of conspiracy theorists were saying that. He kind of seemed like the type of guy who would be an intelligence asset. They're collecting dirt off of, high profile figures to use for whatever purposes. If it's a celebrity, if it's a politician, there's a lot that you can do if you have some really good blackmail on somebody. What exactly they would be doing or who would be doing it, nobody really knows for sure. But the fact that we now have an elected official who's supposedly being on the intelligence committee has intimate knowledge of this, coming out and saying this out loud to reporters, it's, again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am a conspiracy realist, all right? It's hard not to look at this and think, okay, he was probably involved with some government. Which government? I don't know. Is it ours? Is it somebody else's? Whose? She's saying probably an adversary. I don't know. It could have been an adversary. I can definitely see Russia saying, hey, it would be great to be able to just completely compromise any U.S. official at any given time. What can we do there? I don't know. I want to know really badly. So again, we're going to be digging through these Epstein files that we had in this drop. So let this be your big teaser, all right? Tune in Sunday at 7. We'll see what we have. You don't have time to dig through this all day. You just don't. So tune in Sunday at 7 and I'll give you the good stuff, all right? AM 950 KPRC, wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, enough of that. We are, let's get into some good Trump. We're using the military against cartels now. I voted for this, all right? Before you ask, I did vote for this. So here's the announcement from Trump on Truth Social, because why not? Early this morning, on my orders, this would have been Tuesday morning, on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a kinetic strike against positively identified Tren de Aragua narco-terrorists in the Southcom area of responsibility. TDA is a designated foreign terrorist organization operating under the control of Nicolas Maduro, responsible for mass murder, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and acts of violence and terror across the United States and the Western Hemisphere. The strike occurred while terrorists were at sea in international waters transporting illegal narcotics heading to the United States. The strike resulted in 11 terrorists killed in action. No U.S. forces were harmed in the strike. Please let this serve as a notice to anybody thinking about bringing drugs into the United States of America. Beware. Thank you for your attention on this matter. I love how he ends all of his posts with that. It's kind of become like a little Trumpism. I like it. But again, this is what we want. You want to know how we bring down the drug crisis in America? The cartels are the people bringing in the drugs. Make sure they know good and clear, if you're bringing in substances illegally into the United States that will harm American citizens, we are going to kill you. That's it. That's the hard truth. We are going to kill you. As we should. The United States government has a moral duty to defend, using force if necessary, the lives and well-being of its citizens. If you're sneaking drugs into this country with the purpose of killing Americans, or you just don't care if they're kill Americans, and we catch you, this is the correct response. Create a crater where they used to be. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want YouTube to flag me, but it's on Twitter. You can find here. I'll repost it right now. Boom. At Ethan Buchanan, _Ethan Buchanan on X. You can see the video right there. I just reposted it. Make a crater. We will make a crater, as we should. This is good. This is good. This is how you stop terrorists from coming into this country. Here is Trump again talking in a press conference on Tuesday about this strike. Again, Great strike. I watched the video. They're gone. That's it. Here's Trump talking about it.
When you come out and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat.
A lot of drugs in
you'll
that
be seeing
boat.
that, and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago, and our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it if we didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing, and you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela. So we took it out, and you'll get to see that after this meeting is over.
Again, it kind of gives me peace through strength vibes, right? That's what this is. Speak softly and carry a big stick doesn't just mean carry the big stick. You have to be willing to use the big stick. And nobody likes it when you use the big stick. We shouldn't even like it when we use the big stick. We don't use the big stick just to say, oh, look at our big stick, we used it. No, this is about protecting people. This is. I don't know how many drugs were in that boat. I know there were 11 terrorists in it. I'm sure a lot of American lives were saved by blowing it out of the water. I'm positive of it. I guarantee it. This is what the military should be for. We don't need to be going around and playing world police on a global scale. But those people were headed into the United States with the purpose of hurting American citizens. It is a moral good that the United States of America eliminated them before they had a chance to do that. We should want more of this. Use our military resources to, with great effectiveness, I might add, protect the American people. That's what I want. That's what I think most reasonable people want. And we'll save American soldiers' lives by doing that. Do you know how much risk our troops were at during that operation? Zero. None. Because it's a bunch of illegal aliens on a skiff, basically. What are they going to do? Nothing. But if they get to the United States, they can and will hurt American citizens with those drugs. So I'm glad they got taken out. Thank you very much for that. Good, Donald. Pat on the back, fist bumps all around. More of this. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We're going to talk about more safety measures that Trump is undertaking in just a moment. So stay tuned. We will be right back with more of the Next Gen Report. All right, let's talk a little bit more about good Trump. We've had a lot of good Trump, which is good. Now, listen, I'm a political realist. I knew Donald Trump was not going to be a perfect president because no president is, except maybe George Washington Machine. We love you, George. We miss you very much. But I knew Donald Trump was going to have moments that I didn't like. He's going to do things that I don't like. He already has. But that being said, he's done a lot more things that I do like than things that I don't, okay? So I'm happy. He's not perfect. No president is. I said that already. But he's pretty good. He's pretty good. And one of the reasons I like him so much right now is because of the cleanup efforts. He is a law and order, practical president. He wants America to be safe. He wants American cities to be safe. And he's doing his part to make American cities safe. 75 homeless camps in D.C. have been cleaned up under the Trump administration. That is not a small number, all right? It just isn't. And on top of that, that's going to go a long way towards cleaning up D.C., just rooting out the homeless camps. I don't know how much you know about the homeless or homeless camps, but in my experience, and I have a lot, they are often less sympathetic than I guess the media would want you to believe. Oftentimes, there are homeless people that are just down on their luck. They're good people, they're hard workers, but things have gone wrong in their lives. Even more often than that is they're homeless because they want to be. Either they're mentally ill, they're on drugs, or they just don't want to have to deal with any rules whatsoever. And if you're homeless, you're free. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. Nobody cares, especially in left-wing cities. You can drop your pants and take a crap on the sidewalk and nobody's going to say a thing about it. That's the sad reality of homelessness in America today. So I have very little sympathy for homeless people because I'm so jaded to them, again, because of the years of experience dealing with them that I've had. So anyway, homeless encampments are not great places to be. I mean, just for one thing, there's the drugs, and there's always drugs 100% of the time. All right. And then it's the things that I talked about just a minute ago, the dropping your pants and just taking a dump. That's common. It's not rare. We've all seen the meme about the San Francisco poop map. All right. It's a real thing. These are real problems. So as much as you want to say, oh, we can't criminalize homelessness. Oh, this is so difficult. They just need help. No, they don't need help. They need to get off the streets. That's what they need. Donald Trump is doing that. Federal officials have cleared about 75 homeless camps around the nation's capital under President Trump's efforts to clean up Washington, D.C., and they're not done yet. United States Park Police have removed dozens of tents since the president penned the Making the District of Columbia Safe and Beautiful executive order in March, the Department of the Interior told the Post on Friday. Authorities have also scrubbed it to 80 graffiti sites from Capitol Hill parks as of August 6th, Interior officials said. This is all good news. We're making the city of Washington, D.C. safe again. Again, I said this a couple of days ago on the show. I'll say it again now. I might actually go visit Washington, D.C. now. I might. I'm not going to do it until I can do it in Cary. If I can't be armed when I go there, then I won't go there. That's a general rule that I have for almost all places I visit. But the way things are going right now, I could see myself actually visiting Washington, D.C., which is something that I swore I would never do. So there we go. The left will tell you that this is the worst thing ever. You'll hear this on mainstream media all the time. How could Donald Trump do this? He's taking over the city. He's an authoritarian fascist. What do the actual residents, even the Democrat mayor of Washington, D.C., have to say? She's actually having a pretty good time right now. Here she is actually thanking Donald Trump for his efforts.
And we greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city. The most significant thing that we are highlighting today is the area of crime that was most troubling for us in 2023. Now, we have driven it down over the last years, but I'm going to get my glasses.
Now, let me stop her right there. You haven't driven it down. You fudged the numbers. That's what's happened. We all know that that's what happened. Crime hasn't changed. They just stopped reporting it or changed how they report it to make it look lower on the statistics. The crime was still out of control, all right? But at least she's giving credit where it's due to Donald Trump and the Trump administration for bringing more officers in to help solve that problem.
So I can make sure I can see it correctly. But for carjackings, the difference between this period, this 20-day period of this federal surge and last year represents a 87% reduction in carjackings in Washington, D.C. We know that when carjackings go down, when the use of gun goes down, when homicide or robbery go down, neighborhoods feel safer and are safer. So this surge has been important to us for that reason.
Okay, this is great. This is good news. And it says something that even the Democrat mayor, she is a radical leftist, by the way. Don't lose sight of that. She's just as crazy as the rest of them. But even she is forced to come out and say, yeah, actually, Donald Trump is helping us and we appreciate it. It's good to see. You have to love to see it. Now, Donald Trump is, of course, now talking about bringing this same law enforcement effort to the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, which, if you know anything about Chicago, we've all seen the jokes. You know they need it. They've got just as much crime as anybody else. Violent crime, too. It's a problem. Now, they'll swear up and down that it's not a problem, that these issues don't exist. They do.
Just during the last...
Good grief, that's loud. Anyway, here's this cut of J.B. Pritzker talking about how much he doesn't need Donald Trump's help.
Just during the last week, I've been in neighborhoods across Chicago, from Bronzeville to South
This is the governor of Illinois, by the way.
Shore to Chatham to Little Village. The president's absurd characterizations do not match what is happening on the ground here. He has no idea what he's talking about. There is no emergency that warrants deployment of troops.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Yes, the hell there is. 9 killed, 52 wounded over Labor Day weekend. Most violent holiday weekend of the summer. If that's not a crisis that warrants the troops, I don't know what is. You're telling me that's the status quo? That's normal and it's fine? Are you bonkers? Yes, send in the troops. Are you kidding me? 9 killed, 52 wounded over Labor Day weekend. That's 4 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 3 days. Friday, technically, if you count that as the weekend. I don't know. It depends on how you judge it. Friday night is the weekend, but Friday morning and afternoon isn't. It's weird. But that's maybe 3 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 3 days, 52 people shot. 9 of them died. Are you kidding me? And you don't want the president's help? And it's not just J.B. Pritzker saying this. Even the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, he also went out and said, not only do we not want the president's help, if the president's help comes, you should resist it. What do you mean by that? Here he is saying it.
Are you prepared to defend this land that was built by slaves, a land that was built by indigenous people?
Okay, what is this nonsense? Sorry, I'm going to take a brief intermission here. Every single time there's something going on that the Democrats don't like, they immediately jump to the fact that America was built by slaves and indigenous people. It freaking wasn't. What are you talking about? And also, what does that have to do with the crime rates? Because that's the topic here.
A land that is built by workers. Are you prepared to defend this land? The people united will always prevail. I need you all to stand firm, to stand strong. If this president decides to continue to break this Constitution.
So what is he talking about? What is he calling for here? Because it seems like that's kind of like a call to arms, right? Like he wants people to go and resist a crime crackdown? What are you talking about? We're sitting here saying, hey, maybe less people should be murdered over the holiday weekend in Chicago. And you're saying, no, we have to resist because this city was built by indigenous slaves or what have you. Huh? No, keep rolling with this. Go for it. Let this be your message going into the 2026 midterms. Please, I beg of you. I beg of you do this. And let me know how it works out for you. Because I guarantee you it won't go the way you want. Also, there's legitimate questions to be asked about whether or not he's inciting violence with that speech. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, we got a lot more coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, let's talk about Texas here for a minute. What do we got going on? We had a bunch of bills from the legislature go into effect Monday, I guess, technically. So if you don't know how it works, every odd year the Texas legislature meets to pass bills in Austin. Most of those bills, usually barring some special circumstance, go into effect that following September 1st. So we just had a September 1st after a legislative session. So we've got some bills that have gone into effect, this via the Texan. Here's what we got in effect as of Monday. The Senate's budget for Texas, providing school choice, placing the 10 Commandments in school. That's a good one. We want that. This is controversial and it shouldn't be. You don't have to be a religious Christian to recognize the value of the 10 Commandments. Hey, don't murder, don't steal, and don't lust after your neighbor's wife. Those are all pretty good general principles for anybody. And they're the basis of basically our entire legal system, whether you like it or not. The 10 Commandments do have a place in Texas public life and American overall. Protecting the freedom to pray in schools. This is good. We need this. Yes. Freedom of religion, not freedom from religion. Establishing a parental bill of rights in public education. That's good. More parental oversight is always nice. Guarding against inappropriate books in public schools. This is the type of stuff that we've seen that, like, oh, the kids need to learn about gay sex, so here's a children's book with gay sex comments in it. I'm not kidding. That's actually happened. I'm not exaggerating. This is a real problem. Texas Doge, that's nice. Removing barriers to housing affordability. I don't know what that means. That could potentially be a red flag if it's more government overreach, but if it's cutting regulation, then I like it. Stopping foreign adversary land grabs. This is one that Gene Wu is very upset about. Gene Wu, if you don't know, is a Asian American, Chinese American. Where is it? Here he is very upset about this particular bill being passed and going into effect. And listen to how he characterizes this bill, and then we'll dig into the actual reality of what this bill is and does. Take a listen.
It's saying that all Chinese immigrants, all of these immigrants are automatically suspect because of the way they were born, where they were born. That's unacceptable. This is a concept that we've taken up over 100 years ago. It was unconstitutional and illegal then. It's unconstitutional and illegal now. It's saying that...
Okay, first of all, that's not what the bill is saying. It's not saying that no Chinese immigrant can buy or own land. It's a patent lie. He's lying there. That's what he's doing. Now, I feel like I can speak on this to a certain degree because I do have a Chinese wife. So he's saying all Chinese or all Asian immigrants are suspect because of where they've come from. Okay, let me stop you right there. Any person that's, a born and raised, dyed in the wool CCP Chinese person should be a little bit suspect, because here's the reality that nobody wants to talk about. The Chinese government, which is a communist adversarial government, has an extreme level of control over its citizens. It just does. Basically, every single nationally Chinese person is essentially an arm of the state. And that includes their companies, their businesses, everything. Because that's how communist dictatorships run. And that's what China is. We don't want those people buying our farmland. We don't. Because they've proven that they're untrustworthy with it. There's a number of cases of Chinese nationals sneaking bioweapons into the United States, trying to spy on the United States, trying to sneak data and information out of the United States. These people are not trustworthy. All right? I'm saying this as a person with a Chinese wife. I trust her. She's fine. Most of the time. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, what are you doing? No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. I love my wife. She's very trustworthy. She was raised here in America. She's an American. However, she was born in China. Anyway, there are demonstrable security risks to allowing Chinese nationals to just buy up huge amounts of American land. And that's what this bill prevents. Common Sense Bob on X. If you're not following him, you should, by the way. Oh, I'm not. There I am. I see him all the time just because he and I and Kenny Webster all interact with each other a lot. But he's a great follow. He's had his own handful of run-ins with Gene Wu. He did a really good job of clarifying what this bill actually does. Chinese citizens who have not attained citizenship in the U.S., that's who's barred from buying land. I would say it should go even farther and say if you're a Chinese national, if you have Chinese citizenship, you should not be allowed to buy land in the U.S. because I'm a security hawk. But I'll take this. And then the same goes for North Koreans, Iranians, and Russians. These are all nations that pose a security risk and are frankly dictatorships, and we cannot trust their nationals. We just can't. It would be foolish to. All right, so he's very upset about this because why wouldn't he be? I don't know. We've also got a bill that failed that I think is very, it's worth talking about. So we had this big quorum break. Stop. Pause. Stop. All right, it's not stopping. So we're going to mute it. All right, so we had this quorum break, and we need to stop having these. This has become the go-to strategy for the Democrats. Whenever there's a bill they want to block, but they don't have the votes to block it, which is all the time because they're an extreme minority in the Texas House, they just leave. They don't have enough Democrats to actually win a vote, but they have enough Democrats to walk out and stop the voting entirely. So we have a bill now to stop this. It failed. It didn't pass. But here's some of the debate on it. And this Democrat is very upset that this bill would have allowed Democrats who flee and break quorum to be arrested and brought back to Austin. Take a listen.
Will you please come? They can do the arrest by force?
Mm-hmm. They can go to the member's home, compel them to come. If they don't, they can guide the member back to the floor.
Does it say, member, will you please come with us? Or is it, grabbing the member by the arm and pulling them to their car? What is the force?
You might have to grab a member by the arm and bring them into the vehicle and transport them here.
For the civil arrest?
Yes.
And so you're authorizing use of force?
You can already do that.
They can.
So I want to talk to you for a second about how they phrase this. I mean, look at this tweet from the House Democrats. Rep. Nicole Collier forced them to admit they're authorizing physical force to grab members. He was happy to admit it. You could see it in the video. He wasn't trying to hide that fact. He was very open. And like he points out, you can already do this. Just because it's a civil arrest doesn't mean you're not allowed to use force. You can use force in a civil arrest. That's allowed. And it should be used here. You swore an oath as a representative in the Texas House of Representatives to do the job, right? There's a duty there. There's something you have to accomplish. You don't just get to sit there and get on camera and be like, look at me, I'm a state rep. There's actually a job that you are obligated to do by the Constitution of the state of Texas. And you swore you were going to do it. So if you start to try to break that oath, there should be consequences for that. You should be brought back. I don't know why this is suddenly controversial to say. If you put your hand on a Bible or a Quran or whatever it is these people are swearing oaths to these days, you should be made to uphold that oath. You should be. By force if necessary, especially when what you're doing is impeding the important work of the state. You don't get to just get away with doing whatever you want because you're an elected official. It's not a get out of jail free card. It's not a do whatever you want card. You have an obligation. Fulfill it. That's not controversial, or if it is, it shouldn't be. All right? And they're so pretentious. Forced him to admit this is an assault on your representation. No, it's an assault on your failure to do your job, which is what I think most people want. But anyway, I think that's all I've got. That's all I've got time for, at least. So, hey, I want to say thank you very much for listening or watching. Again, we're on YouTube, by the way. If you're listening right now on the podcast or on the radio, I want you to know we are on YouTube. Go follow me on X. I'm posting the videos and the links. Search me up on YouTube, Ethan Buchanan, The Next Gen Report. Dig around. It'll come up. Give us a watch. Give us a listen. And again, we're looking for sponsorships, all right? I'm running the show. This costs money, but if you've got a business, you want to get the word out, I can help you with that. So reach out to me, shoot an email to thenextgenreport@gmail.com. Let's see if we can be mutually beneficial, all right? Hey, thank you very much for listening. We'll be back Sunday at 7 p.m. on AM 950 KPRC.